Good day and welcome to the Power Up. I'm your host, Tami Hill Thomas. So grateful that you're joining me for the ride today as we discuss important information that can equip, educate, elevate, and empower us to make a difference where we are. Family, I look forward to an amazing show today, and I hope you do as well. Let's start with Inside the News. Today, as we discuss some of the important issues that impact our veterans, yes, those who served our community, protect our borders, those who trailblazed and helped to find new ways to protect and pioneer our safety as a country. Our veterans are important. Their health care, their necessities, the needs that they have and are owed because of their service. Did you know that the Veterans Affairs offers disaster relief resources for those who are veterans to help with their VA debt? You can certainly contact them at the United States Department of Veterans Affairs to get more information. Veterans who served during it at throughout their life are certainly owed so much support, and we're so glad that in the United States they are offering to those who have served our country an opportunity for relief. The disaster relief resources include education, they include healthcare. There are many numbers, many centers, and yes, benefits that can help you with debt. So if you have served our country, regardless of the branch, if you have served in any way where you are a veteran, honorably discharged, there we go. We want to make sure that you get connected to resources and get the news of new happenings with the VA, the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. You can go to www.news.va.gov to learn more about the debt relief, the disaster relief, all of the resources and services that are not just available to you as a veteran, but what if you're a family of a veteran? You want to be able to help mom and dad, right? You want to be able to help auntie and the cousins who also served. Get information that's currently available to you. And there is a Veterans Crisis Lifeline. Family, how important is that? To be able to speak to peers who understand post traumatic stress syndrome, who understand what it's like to have to deal with finding a job and needing career support. You can get all of that information by going to news.va.gov. Here at the Power Up, we're always honored to salute those who put themselves in harm's way just so that we can continue, as I often say, to disagree. So our freedoms are protected. And the VA pushing all of these resources is so very important. We're so appreciative for our production team to elevate this as important news. The United States Department of Veterans Affairs. Family, we hope this information has been helpful. We also do want to remind our veterans, our service members, those who are family members, to reach out when you need help. Don't suffer in silence. It's you've gone through a lot to be able to help us one more day, right? We understand that there are things you experienced on the other side of the water or in foreign countries to partner and to grow and even to help their citizens. So certainly we honor and do our best to take care of you. Tap into these resources. Make sure you're at least knowledgeable of what's out there to help you. The VA has a career center just to help those who come back and decide, I want to work. I want to continue with the life that I have to provide for my family. I want to be a productive citizen. And yes, I want a job. You can talk to that career center as well. So not only do they have financial assistance, resources, career development, health care, mental health care, but it's all meant to be the wraparound that you need. News.va.gov. There specifically for you and your families. Reach out and contact them today. We hope this information was helpful. We honor our veterans every day for their service, the family members who sacrifice so much to to not have your family just so they can go serve to protect our families. We acknowledge and appreciate you as well. Take advantage of all that is out there for you. The VA Debt Management Center can assist you with some of your mortgage payments or if you're behind in rent. And we owe it to you. Please pursue what's there for you today. News.va.gov. Family, we're growing. We're going to make sure you're equipped. We're going to make sure you're educated and knowledgeable about what it takes to be wonderfully able to impact your community. Whatever it is, you just learned new information if you didn't know it before. So come on and share the knowledge that you have, and let's grow together. There's so much more to our show. Stay tuned. There's more after this.
Hey everybody, this is Regina Hutt, the wellness practitioner on Empowered Mornings. We'd like to invite you every Wednesday night, 8 p.m., uniquely and gorgeous, to keep your mind locked and loaded on WIN Network.
Welcome back to the Power Up. As you see, I'm not in my normal setting. I have the opportunity today to be on site in some of and interviewing some amazing government officials. Stay tuned to future shows. There's information you're going to be wowed in hearing. I'm so excited because we have an opportunity to see how the information I just shared on veterans actually works. Okay. We're going to welcome an amazing, absolutely phenomenal returning guest to the Power Up, Miss Magda Gomez. Magda Gomez Brown, pardon me. We're so glad that you're joining us today and that you always come with a wealth of knowledge. Welcome, Magda.
Hi, Tami. Thank you so much for having me. It is always a pleasure to collaborate with you. And I just want to applaud your motivation, how you keep everyone just motivated, and you always have different topics. I just really applaud you, and I just want to support you on anything that I can. I really love and enjoy collaborating with you, and I appreciate the platform that you have put out there for the community to learn about different events and different subjects that are so important to us. You're a community builder, and I just really appreciate you.
I thank you for all you do as well. And please know it takes a team. I am nothing without this rock star production team behind the scenes and the researchers who help with this information. But Magda, that's what brings you to us today. Not only are First, thank you for your service as part of our military. Thank you for your service as a voice in federal government. But you also use every breath you have to elevate women in leadership. Let's talk about that, if you will. First, what's new with Magda?
Oh my God. Well, thank you so much. So, as you know, I'm a new mom. I have a 4 month old Victoria, and oh, she melts my heart. She keeps me busy. She keeps me young, but I'm tired, but she keeps me on my toes. Just being a mother is just amazing. And I do have to say, I'm so thankful for all the equal employment opportunity regulations that we have the privilege to have. I mean, I was able to take 3 months of maternity leave without a problem, and so I'm just very thankful for all the opportunities that we have in our beautiful country, the United States of America. I was able to, thanks to that, to have my 3 months to bond with my child, with Victoria, and she's thriving. I am very excited, and I'm back to work, and I'm very appreciative of the the time that was given to me, and me getting back to work and back into my the main duties of my job. So I'm very excited.
Well, and let's talk about that, right? First, congratulations on the little sweet cheek. She is absolutely precious
Thank you.
and perfect.
Thank you.
Um, your work, though, right? You're still part of the military. You still continued, even through your pregnancy and even from home, elevating your voice. On all of the social media platforms, you often share inspiration and reminders of how equity and equality are so important. Share, if you will, from your journey, some of the things that other women should know when moving in leadership.
I guess something that I can share with you today, it's the importance of as we navigate our paths towards our goals or what have you, because all of us have goals and aspirations. It's essential to embody the spirit of generosity and support towards those around us, right? Just by sharing our knowledge, by resources, by just that sense of generosity. I think as we move up or different paths, and as we move towards towards our goals, it's important to acknowledge that no matter how difficult your path is, that is something that I really just kind of wanted to put out there. As you're aware, and as I've actually shared openly, I am a woman of faith, and so I believe in being obedient. So when these thoughts, or just even when these different opportunities come to me, I like to share them, because again, I'm obedient, right? And so, but by sharing our knowledge, no matter where you are, and resources, and networks with others, we are not only empowering them to overcome challenges and achieve their dreams, but also creating a ripple effect of inspiration and growth within our community. And I think that that's something that we have to keep reminding ourselves, because it's really easy, especially when we're trying to get to a goal, to become a little bit, to become a little bit selfish in a way. And sometimes we do have to be selfish, but I believe that overall, when we empower others and when we share our knowledge, we're making our community better. And at the end of the day, if that's the goal, then that's what we should aim to do. I think that collaboration lies at the heart of innovation and progress, and I believe that by leveraging the diverse strengths and experiences that we have, and by sharing those with those around us, we can create a dynamic synergy that reaches everyone, and at the end, help people actually kind of pick up where we left off, or help us actually in our own to reach our own goals. And so I think each one of us bring a unique set of skills to our environments, or communities, or places of work. And I believe that by working together, and sharing those skills and knowledge, resources, networks, I think that that's how we can actually make our goals possible, and again, while helping our communities.
That's huge, right?
Yes,
You
it is.
hit on so much, Magda, but that is so huge.
Yeah.
First, you mentioned faith, then you mentioned purpose, like doing what's in you to do, being obedient to be moving the way that you feel is good to move. And then you ended with connections, how important it is to make sure that we're not moving on an island here, that we all are part of something greater. As an advocate, as someone whose work is about elevating others, right? And the understanding of how the laws that are out here impact others. Help our listeners, if you will, our viewers who might be struggling with understanding the impact of equal opportunity, not just in their workplace, but in their lifestyle. What are some things we just should know?
Well, I think one thing that I believe it's together we get farther. I just really hope that we can get to a place where, I mean, there will always be equal employment opportunities or equal opportunities there, because we are human beings, and all of us at some point or another we've had biases, and we have biases, and we have to make choices. But I think that in order for us to be able to thrive, we all have to work together, and we all have to meet each other somewhere in the middle. I deal a lot with conflict in the workplace as a former federal EEO and labor investigator. Right now I'm a program manager, but having that background, I've often dealt with people just kind of having, wanting to have their own way and wanting to see things from a one lens. But that's not how life works. That's not how it works in our work environments. That's not how it works in our community. And we all need to learn how to work and live together. And again, I think that's why it's so important for us to um, share our resources, share our networks, in order for us to, again, everybody brings something different and unique to the table. And I think by closing yourself to anyone, I think that you are you're not giving yourself the opportunity to be great. I think that in order for you to be great, for you to learn, for you to get along with others, for you to understand people, for you to work for people and with people, you have to be able to be flexible. You have to be able to have an open mind. You have to be able to put aside your biases. And I really hope that it comes a time when we don't even have to talk about this, when it's just we're all human beings. We all have different skills that we bring to the table, and I think it's important for all of us to collaborate and work together. We need to not only look to the side but also behind us, and in order for us to all move forward to just again to I'm in public service and I serve in the military because I'm all about community. And so, so to me, in order for you to help your community, you have to work with others and get there with others and help others get there as well. And by you lifting others, you're lifting up yourself, you're doing your job, you're helping your community. And so, definitely, when it comes to equal opportunity, the regulations must be there because, again, we're all human beings and we need reminders, even with civility in the workplace training, right? Like we all need reminders, like you, right? But again, I just hope that there comes a day when all of us can just act out of um generosity, from a generous perspective, and so that we can all collaborate with each other and that way be better.
Absolutely. Wouldn't that be an amazing world?
Yeah,
Right?
right.
When we can all just respect is actually common, courtesy is actually common, and pushing and elevating. But that's why we have this platform to stand with people like you and find ways to elevate the message that everyone matters, right? Every voice matters.
Right.
You, in particular,
Yeah.
as part of the military, and as a woman of different ethnicities, and as a woman who was an immigrant, right?
I
And as right, and as a woman who is oftentimes the only female in some atmospheres, in some
true.
groups, and as a woman who's now a mother, right?
Oh,
So now
yes.
you're not just thinking about it from a woman's solo perspective, you're thinking about legacy.
Yeah.
So with the whole perspective that makes you great, that makes you the wonderful person that you are, there's much in the news right now that I gotta talk to you about. I have
Okay.
to, because right now we have a woman who is running to lead our country for the very first time in history. Is possible. Now, to be clear, she's not the first woman to run. Shirley Chisholm put in her ballot to run also to be president. So
Right.
she's not the first person to say, I can do this. But it's the what if. What if she becomes the first woman? And then at a moment like now, where we're in the information age and social media speaks so loud, and what people see in videos speaks so loud, I have to ask you your perspective and your opinion on thoughts about just where the synergy and energy is in this day.
Yes. Okay, that is a very valid point. As a so first and foremost, as a woman in the military and in federal service, I work for whoever it's democratically chosen in the country, and so that is my duty. It's to abide by the president and follow my chain of command. So in order for me to be able to serve again, I serve whoever it's actually in power, right? And again, and that is through a democratic process. Now, in regards to a female having that position, I think, well, I think it's is beyond us. I think that is one privilege. It is a privilege to even be able to put in your name on the hat for that job and for that position. So I think, as a woman, I think you will be, in leadership and holding that position that is just the highest rank that you can possibly expect, or to have in the United States of America, to lead a nation. I mean, I think it will be a breakthrough for females in general. I mean, I applaud, I applaud all women who actually uh, can have the talents, have the I mean, the preparation to even put their names on the hat for that job, right? And I think it will give us nothing but encouragement. It will show us that we can to do it. I think it will be, a female leading by example and providing all females and minorities with, with that example that you too can do it. So, I mean, my respects to everyone running, and like I said, as a member of the military and as a member of the federal service, I do serve whoever is chosen democratically.
Yeah. Absolutely, as do I. Totally understand. But you make a valuable point. And thank you, because I know I threw that question at you. But I was like, I'm going to talk to Magda. And she's a woman who is fighting, oftentimes the only woman surrounded by men,
Right.
both in a military space and a government space. And now as a mom, look at the power just of this moment that little girls are going to see of what's possible. And there's nothing that says only a man can lead anything, right? There
Right.
are, honestly, women have supported in government for years. Women have worked in the military for years. Women run households. We build communities. And so I appreciate your honesty and transparency, because you're right. We're going to do what we have to do to support whoever is in leadership. It's the office, because that is the right thing to do for all of us to come together and figure out how to make this country move forward. But I want to go back and ask you another follow up question. You also have a voice, not just with EEO, the Equal Opportunity laws and regulations, which you so thoroughly know and present and train on regularly, but being in leadership. There are characteristics and qualities. There are strengths and things that women who've often thought about going into leadership could learn. What tips would you share with another woman who's thinking about starting a business or leading a team, from your perspective?
To do it full-heartedly. Don't listen to the naysayers. Just believe in yourself, and be obedient. Meaning listen to that internal voice Nobody has walked in your shoes. You're the only one that uh, that knows you best, and you are your own best advocate. You are your own best advocate. You are the one who can set boundaries. And again, you are your own best advocate. So don't doubt yourself. Follow your goals. Have plan activities for those specific goals that you want to accomplish, and just do it. Put your mind and your and just go in full heartedly. I was actually at a networking event yesterday, and somebody was sharing how much they wanted to work uh, with uh, with disasters and recovery, right? And they didn't have much experience, and I felt a little guilty because everyone in that circle were sharing all of these amazing experiences, right? And they were actually sharing very specific instances and actions and activities that they actually had to do and that they were exposed to, right? Thanks to the job that they have. But this person actually, even though they didn't have enough experience in that particular area, they actually provided uh, through examples, right? Just that they were, that they had a good heart. And sometimes, again, if you have if you really want it, if you really put your mind into it, you can definitely make it happen. You can take the steps and you can take the actions, because um so don't get discouraged. Don't This is something else that I actually heard during a leadership meeting yesterday, but it was, don't discount yourself. Put your name on the hat for whatever it is that you want to run for whatever, for whatever job that you want to achieve. Don't discount yourself. Don't think about, well, if I put in, I don't know if I'm qualified for this, I don't know what they're gonna say. Just know your strengths, know what you need to work on to get to where you want to get to. But don't discard or discount yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Just let them say no, and then you'll work from there, and you go from there. But don't demotivate yourself, or demote yourself, or discount yourself automatically because of your own fears. So you have to, again, be your own best advocate. That it's easier said than done. um, be your own best advocate, know your limits, and just make sure that whatever goals you have in mind, set up goals and set up activities and actions and action plans, and just go full heartedly for whatever it is that you want to accomplish.
I love that. Talk about laying out a plan.
That's right.
Absolutely.
I'm writing mine as we.
I love it. I love it. And you're right. And the interesting statistic that I heard a little while ago was that men are more likely to jump on jobs they're not qualified for than women, because we do so much second guessing and even
Yes,
thinking about whether we should even apply,
right.
while they'll jump out there and apply and wait and see too.
Exactly. And so, but you know what, because of that, we overthink it sometimes. And you are correct. I've seen a lot of my fellow counterparts. They just I mean, I admire that in them. I really admire that, because they just go full heartedly and they're like, oh, I deserve it. Well, meanwhile, we're just second guessing ourselves. But if you're gonna go for it, go full heartedly. You if you everybody has a story, and people, when you are especially in a leadership position, people are looking out, people are looking at you. And if you have that, if you go full heartedly, you have a story to tell. You never know whose lives you're actually changing. So again, I think that we have to be, again, as a woman of faith, and I know I keep saying again and again, but as a woman of faith, I am obedient. So when I have this inner, I listen to myself, and I'm like, is this something I can do? Is this my time to help, or whatever it is that's presented in front of me, right? And I don't second guess myself. I go full heartedly, and it's something that I continuously keep reminding myself.
Absolutely. What a powerful woman that you are. And I do want to step back. Oop, because I did not mention, I said she earlier when I was talking about the young lady who's put her hat in the ring for the office of president. We're talking about the current vice president of the United
Right.
States, Kamala Harris, which in its own self was history
Right.
because there'd only been men in that
Correct.
office prior to her being vice president. So
That's
the
correct.
capacity that we have to exceed, excel, I think the greatest part, Magda, is there are one of the things you just said, there are folks always watching us.
Yes.
And how we can change generations to come just by the actions of boldness and courage that we can take, which I'm sure you reflect every day in your military service.
I mean, yes, and you know what? I was actually thinking about um honorable, Vice President Kamala Harris, and I was actually thinking about her yesterday, and I was like, wow, I really want to hear more about her. I want to hear how she actually get there. Like, she has a family. How does she balance her work life balance? How as a woman, seeing another woman in a leadership position, especially as the vice president of the United States, our beautiful country. I mean, I was actually driving home into work, and I kept thinking about it. I'm like, I really want to hear more about her. I want to hear again how she managed her personal life versus her professional life. How did she get there? What were the steps that she took? And who was she looking up to? Because I think everybody has somebody else. We don't make it alone. We have a group, we have a coach, we have mentors, we have counterparts that we look up to, whether they know it or not, right? We look up to somebody and we're like, oh wow, I really admire how this person did that. And um how did she make it there? So yes, of course, as a woman, especially as a minority woman, seeing a woman in a leadership position and having that courage, because it takes a lot of courage. I mean, otherwise all of us will be entrepreneurs and all of us will have our own be the directors of our company and have like and have all of these employees. I mean, if that is what you wish to have, right? But I'm talking as a professional female. um but it takes courage, it takes time, it takes dedication. So yes, I've thought about it, of course, and I would love to hear more about it.
But that's interesting because you reflect that in the military. So isn't it something how there's no age or how we look to others, others look to us. We're all in this human race walk together.
Yes.
And the courage that you show
Oh,
on a regular basis, right? To serve takes that, to stand, to fight, to be ready, to and prepare. And so that's one of the reasons why you were the perfect person to have this conversation with. Women in leadership is something that we just want to encourage everyone to do. If you feel a calling, if you feel your gifts, go make money off of them, figure out how you can change the world, but no limits, right, Magda?
yes, no limits. I also want to say something, because I will like. There's something to say. We all of us actually get that courage from different people, and I do have to say, I did have the opportunity to work on the Independence Day and the NATO missions through the you know uh, Army and Air Force, right? In National Guard. And I have to say, the woman and the man that I was working for during this mission, I mean, wow, it's just leadership beyond just beyond the normal. It's impressive. It makes me feel nothing but pride. And it doesn't matter what your role was, right? They make you feel that you were a part of the team. That I mean, just when it comes to preparation, when it comes to determination, when it comes to leading by example. I mean, Tommy, I was impressed. I was so impressed. And as a working female, it's of course you are impressed by your counterparts, right? And you're impressed by your chain of command always, of course, right? Uh, oh but but when you see something like this, you're like, we're in good hands. We're in amazing hands, and I'm just honored to be here. And you just kind of have to pinch yourself. Am I really a part of this? It's
Yeah.
I mean, and again, and there wasn't a lot of inclusion. I mean, when I'm telling you, when I tell you, just males, females, minorities working together, oh my goodness, I was I was in heaven. I really felt that it was just an honor to be able to see leadership in action.
Wow.
It was an honor.
Wonderful experience, is
Yes,
it? Not just
absolutely.
to hear it, but to see it has impact.
To see it, Tommy, to see it, because we often talk about leadership and we want to know how people actually, where do they get their stamina from? Where do they get their energy? How do they come up with new topics, with new, right? I mean, that's just something that we all talk about and think about it. How do we train ourselves better? How can we get to that next level? How can we collaborate and be better and help our communities and help ourselves? But just being a part of the Air National Guard and being a part of these missions, and again, just seeing that level of leadership, Tommy, it's, and the trust, the level of trust that you have to have your chain of command,
Right.
especially those that are, above my rank, right? And the way they trust each other and they communicate, and it was outstanding. It was,
That's awesome.
again, people say like thank you for your service, and I'm like, oh my good, like I think my chain of command, I mean, the amazing work that they do, and it is something that I take with me. And again, it is a privilege and an honor to serve the country, especially when you have access to working with leaders that actually lead by example and that work together. And speaking about equal opportunity, it's
Yeah.
inclusivity, trust among teams, communication, delivery, planning, out of this world, out
Yeah.
of this world. Yeah.
Yeah, and our military does it with excellence, of
Oh
which you
yeah.
are certainly a part of. So, yes, thank you for your service.
Thank you
And
for your
thank you for continuing to elevate womanhood and leadership and ethics and doing it in a way that helps others, right? Not just getting it and running because I have my answers, but
right.
pouring into someone else and building someone else, and how important that absolutely is.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
We
Thank
are
you.
no, we are so excited when you come and have a conversation with us, Magda. You pour so much energy and positivity into us, and we thank you for being the light where you are. I can't let you go though. We have about what 60 seconds left, and I would love. I know that you also are a big motivator. You love inspiring others and pouring positivity and hope. So I want to give you this space for someone who might watch this interview and just say, I want to be like her, like Magda. I want to have a smile like that.
Thank
What
you.
would you share?
Um, be yourself. Don't let negativity get to you. Don't let naysayers get to you. Just be yourself, and uplift others. No matter where you are, there is always something that you can give to others. So just be yourself. Continue to uplift others. Continue to do great work, and people watch you. You can lead by example, and this is why I believe that it's so important to have kindness, support, foster mentorship, and because I feel that together we can create a future where success is not a solitary pursuit, but rather just a collective triumph for all of us. And so, hopefully we may continue to inspire. Hopefully we may continue to, train ourselves. Hopefully, and uplift each other, and to continue to collaborate with each other so that we can learn from each other and work together for the betterment of ourselves and our communities.
Ladies and gentlemen, Magda Brown. We thank you so much for just being you and for lifting and pouring and elevating and for coming to our platform. Family, she's going to be back. Hispanic
Thank you.
Awareness Month is
Oh,
coming
yes.
up. We absolutely have to have your voice during that month as you share and advocate and elevate the voice of that community. And we honor our brothers and sisters in the military and thank you for sacrificing and being so selfless with your heart and sharing today. We appreciate you, Magda. We really do. Thank you for joining us. Family, don't go anywhere. Wow, what a powerful interview. But there's more after this.
Good morning. Marshall Weeks here with you. Today, let's reflect on a powerful question. Do we truly believe God loves us, or are we too caught up in how much we love Him? Deuteronomy 31:8 assures us God will never leave you nor forsake you. This promise covers our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. So why do we let short-term financial stress distract us when we serve a God who offers long-term perfect solutions? Before making financial decisions, do we pause to seek God's guidance when faced with the job offer that promises a little more pay? For much more work, do we consult Him or do we rush ahead without considering His higher plan for us? One that might involve nurturing a business idea He planted in our hearts, designed to stretch us, refine our discipline, and prepare us to manage a future filled with blessings and opportunities to bless others. So let's commit to seeking His wisdom with every financial choice, remembering always to focus on His immense love for us. This understanding ensures that when we face challenges, we stand confident, knowing we have a Father who will see us through to victory. Embrace God's process on your journey to financial blessings. Consider it pure joy, rather than enduring the consequences of poor decisions. You've been empowered because you should prosper.
Good day. Welcome back to the Power Up family. We're so glad that you hung on in here. We hope this has been a powerful show. I tell you, I couldn't write down as much as Magda was talking, but we started out with Inside the News. Today we shared for our wonderful veteran community. A reminder that there are resources available just for you. For the families of those who are with our wonderful veterans who have served, and you need to connect with different resources, please go to the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. There's information on debt relief. There's information on health care, mental health care. There's even a veterans crisis line just so that you can get assistance in those moments where you need to have someone support you where you are. You matter to us here at the Power Up, and we want to make sure that you have all the resources and information available just for you. Go to www.news.va.gov. They have information also on career development, helping you with your resume, prepping for interview skills, maybe even job openings that they're aware of. They also have information for caregivers if you're helping and assisting a veteran. Please tap into the VA. They released recently disaster relief resources for debt. So, those who have mortgages, don't lose your home. If you're dealing with rent that's behind, don't lose your apartment, your place, your housing. We can't have homeless veterans on the street. There's been a big push to try to do what we can to make sure that those who protect our borders get the services that they rightly deserve. Go to news.va.gov to get the information readily available on any aspect and connect with the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. We then were joined by a wonderful Magda Brown, who joins us in her advocacy in human rights and equal opportunity. She is actively serving our military. And today we wanted to discuss women in leadership. She elevates her voice as one who is a pioneer, who actually stands and leads teams regularly as the only female surrounded by men. Wonderful opportunity to embrace excellence at its best. And yet, in a place where we're also looking at the electrified atmosphere with a woman as the United States Vice President, who is now running for the office of presidency. To Magda's point, for those who are in federal service, including our military, we take the responsibility to unite and serve the office of the presidency, whoever occupies it. But with the atmosphere that little girls are seeing possibilities, that there are some people who never thought it possible. Shirley Chisholm, who I mentioned, who ran years, decades ago. Often people didn't think it was anything that could happen. But look at how tides can turn when you embrace the courage, right? When you stand up with boldness, when you say, yes, I can. So whether you vote for Ms. Harris or not, whether you see that as an option or not, little girls around the country are noticing what's possible. And who knows what the future will hold. We're so glad that Magda joined us and shared many tips, reminding us that balance is important. However, also reminding us that serving others is what a true leader will do. What happens when you're just up there on the mountain? It's just you. You're not leading anybody. But when you have people who follow you, who trust you, who buy into what you stand for, that's what makes an impact, just like you being a leader in your community. Thank you so much, Magda, for what you do in military service, in federal service, in community service, and just for continuing to be the amazing you that you are. Family, before we wrap up the show today, we want to quickly respond to a viewer question. We had a question from a viewer on asking about goal setting. And you all know this is something I love to discuss. Basically, she says, I've got a list. Where do I start? Which is a real question. So I want to just share quickly a few tips to our viewer. And thank you for submitting your question to us because your voice matters. And if you're wondering about it, there's probably others that have wondered too. Every year, I kick off with some amazing executives, vision board parties, corporate mapping, different opportunities where individuals come together and they pour out the things they want to happen. And you take pen to paper and write them down because then you make the vision plain. But so then you get a list of stuff, and that's where the steps become important. So here's just a few tips, family. First, make sure that when you set your goals, they're clear to you. They don't have to be a lot of mumbo jumbo that no one understands. Your goals are your goals. You have to understand what you're trying to achieve. Make it clear. Consider breaking them down and making them bite sized. I often use the one about I want to lose 50 pounds. I hear you. Me too. But you didn't gain it overnight. You're not going to lose it overnight. There's progress that has to happen. That's the purpose of your goals. But I want to lose 50 pounds. The big goal it is awesome. What are you going to do that's bite sized steps to help you accomplish that? See, even if you get surgery, even if you decide I'm just going to have them suck out the 50 pounds, Tammy, okay. But there's preparation for the surgery that has to happen. And then there's recovery after the surgery that has to happen. And even all of that, pre and post, are steps. You have to put things in order so that you can be prepared for that type of journey. It is, in fact, a journey. If you decide I'm going to join a gym, that's great. The gym appreciates your money. But then what? Do you have days committed? Do you have a plan for how you're going to target certain areas? Cardio one day, legs another day, arms another day. So you give your body an opportunity to form instead of just becoming a smaller what it currently is. In other words, you want to build your muscle mass and your strength and your endurance. How about get to the top of the stairs without losing breath? Come on, somebody. So, what are your goals, your progress steps that are part of that losing 50? Because here's the good news: if you just develop the healthy habits and make that your goal, 50 pounds will drop off and you won't even think about it. All of a sudden, stuff that's tight is loose and you'll find and you got to get looser clothes, smaller sizes. All of a sudden, those migraines or your ankles fat, you'll notice that things start to trim, all because living healthier is my goal. So while I might incorporate gym time or decide I'm going to walk the park on Tuesdays or decide I'm going to increase my water intake, I'm going to add smoothie days to my week. I'm going to find ways to do things that are bite sized that I can actually do. Saying that you're going to join a gym and it's 30 minutes away from you outside of your normal commute and you're never going, it's just giving the gym your money. Commitment is what makes your goals successful. Attaining any goal is possible. You want to be president? It's possible. You want to open a business? It's possible. You want to write a book? Come on, it's possible. You want to be debt free? It's possible. But everything starts with something. That book starts with putting pen to paper or getting consultation from a publisher, right? Deciding that you're going to get be debt free starts with meeting with a financial advisor, doing a real assessment of your income versus your debt ratio. Come on now. It's all possible. But you got to start with your goals and then making them bite sized and clear and start putting timelines and deadlines and building a routine around how you can make them happen. Because, baby, you deserve to be happy. You deserve what you see everyone else with. How many people have you seen that have lost 300 pounds? So 50 is attainable. Or folks that you've seen who have been able to make it through fighting cancer. And the other side of them is the one that is the warrior. See, they made it through that battle, and now they're standing there victorious. Now the perspective has changed. My mentality has changed. My endurance has changed. My thought about what I'm going to even put my efforts to has changed. You learn how to let the small stuff be small when you go through big life battles. Family, as you decide what you're going to make happen, as you move forward being the amazing you, do what Magda recommended. Live without limits. Don't talk yourself out of the amazingness that's in front of you, the opportunities for success, all the drive that you feel. If you feel yourself pulling towards something, it's for you to do. As she said, be obedient to that voice. The higher power that built you and hardwired you to win. Come on, to win. It's still there. You have to be the one to put those steps in place and decide now is my time. If you got to write it down, write it down. Now is my time and look at it every day. You have the list of goals to our viewer. Start putting a progress step with each goal and just start one goal at a time. Decide what's most important. Having 50 goals is great, but which one is the one you want to focus on first? Is traveling because it's the summertime, getting that trip in with my family, taking the babies to the beach, what you need to prioritize right now? Because school starts in a little while, right? Is figuring out what you need to do to plan for an event the priority, because the event is going to take steps and financial planning and event planning and coordinating and bringing other people in. So event planning is a process and takes effort. You have to figure out what's first most important. Make it clear, put goals to it, progress steps. Put dates, commitments. Tuesday, I'm going to do it. Wednesday after work. Saturday morning, I'm going to do this. Be realistic with what you have in front of you and come on and let's make it happen. Because if anybody can make you the most powerful you that can shake things up in your life so you're living your best life, it's you. And you deserve it, family. Come on, seize the moment. Live in the present, which is a gift. That's why it's called the present. As we end every show, family, I want to thank Magda for joining us. We hope the VA information was powerful and helpful for folks who forget there's help out there. As you see, we gave you kind of a quick preview. I'm on site doing some interviews with some amazing officials, and we're looking forward to bringing that to you in future presentations. And we're looking forward to having Magda come back as we celebrate her heritage and open up the voice to hear from so many others in future shows. We thank, as always, our production team who brings the absolute best with the We Empower Network. We want to thank you, our viewership, for sending your questions, sharing your voice, letting us know what topics are important to you. And we thank our military and first responders. Listen, those who put their lives in harm's way. We're running from fires, they're running into them. Thank you to our firefighters, police officers, 911 responders, our medical professionals. We come and call on them and hope that they can tell us what's wrong. How many by the thousands are impacted? Our nurses, our doctors, medical professionals, we thank you. As always, we thank our military, our families, and yes, our veterans, those who served in wars, y'all, those who have memories and battle scars that have the opportunity to pour into the youth today, not just on how they made it through, but on some of the amazing stories that can help change the lives and elevate our history. Veterans, we thank you for your service. We thank our teachers who continue to pour into our next generation, to our caregivers who care for our seniors. We thank all of you for being the best you were created to be. Coaches, book clubs, ministers, community leaders, it doesn't matter how you elevate your voice, how you lead. The difference is that you be the difference where you are. Stop looking for somebody else to do it. It's right there at your hands. Someone's talking to you about it because it has your name on it. We here at the Power Up look forward to witnessing the greatness of you and celebrating you along your journey. Family, thank you for joining us. Wow, what a great segment. Can't wait to see you next time. Take care.